It's an okay fit for him. I don't think he solves their defensive issues.
It's different. He's been poor defensively, to say the least.
Yeah.
He's more like a puppy.
Oh, okay. Like a newborn puppy. Wow.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin is a newborn puppy.
So the Brooklyn Nets have been relatively dominant.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where they sit. What's your take? Like, where do you see them going this year?
My take essentially is I like where they're going. They're really focused on offense, as the stats are pointing out here. They're leading the league in points per game, and they're actually leading the league in effective field goal percentage as well.
It'll happen when you have that many weapons.
Yeah,
you
and
get
the
more
thing
open
is,
shots.
the most important thing to keep in mind with them is it's still the regular season. They've actually missed Durant for a big chunk of the season, and he won't be back until after the All-Star break. We're not exactly sure when he's returning yet.
Well, it says a month, but it could be anywhere between a month and...
They're going to go easy because they have no reason to rush him back.
They don't.
He's the most important player, arguably, in the league.
Yeah.
And he needs to be healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Especially in a season like this.
They're going to get through in the East. Like, they're going to get through.
I know.
It'll be fine.
It's interesting to see how they turn out. They've had some really interesting lineups and stuff. Like, there's been a big discussion about what position does Bruce Brown play. People are saying he plays the 1, he plays the 5. He's like a 6'4" sort of swingman. It doesn't really matter because you put your best players out there. He finds the open spots, and Harden finds them because he's one of the best passers in the league.
Yep.
I am concerned about their defense, to be very honest. I have said in the past, why can't they just outscore everyone? But at some point, you have to play defense.
Well, the problem that I see with Brooklyn, and this we'll definitely go into more detail in this in the second part, but if they match up with Philly, that's a really bad matchup.
It is.
That is a really, really bad matchup.
It is.
And I can see that happening. That's a potential conference final matchup.
What about Giannis as well? Milwaukee.
Milwaukee aren't playing very well, but if they get their stuff together, for not being able to say the word I want to, then that's a bad matchup.
It is.
Any team with a big as dominant as Giannis or Joel Embiid is a huge problem for Brooklyn. They don't have the size to match up. And DeAndre Jordan is not anywhere near the player that they need at the 5.
Just imagine if Brooklyn plays like Toronto and they have to match up with Aaron Baines. Like that matchup is over. Like Aaron Baines is just going to work everybody on that team.
Yeah.
And it's not even homer corner.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah. Bam Adebayo, same thing. Bam Adebayo dropped 46 on them. Like his career high, he dropped on Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And that's no surprise. They haven't got anyone to be able to stop the good, let alone elite big men in the league.
Yeah, that's right. They have Nick Claxton, they have DeAndre Jordan, and they have Tyler Cook. I believe he's a rookie they signed, or a young player they signed.
Yeah.
That's their big man rotation. Actually, randomly, I thought it was interesting they picked up Andre Robertson.
I wouldn't mind seeing them get like Hollis Jefferson, who is still a free
love
agent.
him. He's one of my favorite swing guys.
And he was drafted by Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So
he would fit there.
I don't know.
He was so good on the Raptors last year. I really miss him as a Raptors
an
fan.
Animal, man. Reminds me so much of the early days of Kenneth Faried. Just manimal.
Okay.
Just on the boards, just
not
dominant.
quite that athletic, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, like really a hustle guy.
Just aggressive.
Rondé
really
Hustle
aggressive.
Jefferson, as they call him.
Well, yeah, that's a good nickname.
But yeah, so just back to the Nets here. If they picked him up, that would be good. But they're 5th worst right now in defensive rating. So they're giving up the most second chance points in the league. Again, this is all talking about interior stuff and big men. And they're giving up the 3rd most points in the paint per game in this season. So these stats don't point to them favorably. If they can clean it up in the playoffs just by signing like a solid big man.
Speaking of,
it's an okay fit for him. I don't think he solves their defensive issues.
It's different. He's been poor defensively, to say the least.
Yeah.
Not hanging with players that are driving in. He's not willing to take contact, kind of ducks out when the game gets aggressive. He tends to go missing.
Yeah.
And you need that kind of mongrel in the playoffs. He's more like a puppy.
Oh, okay. Like a newborn puppy. Wow.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin is a newborn puppy.
Unfortunately, like he's lost it. He had it when he was playing for the Clippers. Him and DeAndre Jordan were very difficult to come up against. But you've now paired them back up, and they're both on the wrong side of 30.
I honestly don't think, like we discussed before, Detroit wasn't a great place for him to be anymore. I think he's much outgrown that. Brooklyn, that would reinvigorate his career and his spirit to play the game with a little bit more intensity, maybe be a bit more of a mongrel, if you were to use Josh's words.
Yes.